The third and final DLC for Digimon Story Time Stranger has dropped, and with it, the Season Pass content comes to an end. Episode Packs 1 and 2 were a mixed bag when I think about it. Now, Anti-ParadoX goes full Royal Knights fan service, while wrapping up the whole Parallelmon Akashic Backdoor storyline that's been running through all 3 episodes. It's maybe the shortest of the bunch, it might be around the same as the second episode, and as I kind of expected coming into it after the first 2, the story is fine. The new Mega Digivolution paths are absolute fire if you're an ex-Antibody or Royal Knights nerd. But yeah, here's a little yap about the DLC episode Anti-ParadoX. So as I mentioned, there's another handful of Digimon added into the game here. These are going to be the big draw. I feel like there are a lot of fan favourites in here. I know I was very excited to see Magnamon X. Just like the previous 2, this is very post-game coded and very linear. Parallelmon is back, again, once again opening an Akashic backdoor that's threatening to collapse timelines. You team up with Asuna and Dr. Simmons, plus a couple of other science lab faces, to shut the whole thing down. The episode leans heavily into the X program antibody lore. Basically, there's a program called the X program that is designed to get rid of Digimon. But certain Digimon that possess an X antibody are immune and therefore safe from the effects of that program. Some Digimon are pro-X, seeing it as a form of natural selection, survival of the fittest, that kind of deal, and others are firmly against it, seeing the whole thing as barbaric. The X-Antibody Royal Knights are split down the middle with it, so we have to somehow convince them to put their differences aside to help us take down Parallelmon. It's a perfectly serviceable finale for the DLC trilogy, lots of time and space a-breaking spectacle, and of course one last big boss fight. It wraps things up cleanly, but at the same time doesn't add anything groundbreaking. The X-Antibody Royal Knights are the real stars here. I feel like that's been the case for a lot of this DLC in general. The new Digimon have been the thing that's got me hyped. If you love the Royal Knights, these new forms alone probably make the episode pack worth it for collection and post-game grinding. You get to team up with one towards the end of the episode too. I chose Magnamon, of course, he's my guy. Still got Digimon the movie nostalgia for him. The episode itself is short and linear. It's more follow the story marker than exploration. And in the middle parts, there was a lot of running to one location for dialogue, then running to the next location for dialogue, and that went on for a little while. The dialogue is at least interesting though, so it caught itself decently enough there. There's a really emotional twist or two as it heads towards the final confrontations of the episode. Actually, probably the most compelling moment of the DLC in my opinion. I'll not spoil it here, but it got me right in the gut. This episode does make more use of different locations as well compared to the previous 2. The setting we're in does change a fair few times, so that was nice. Even though it was linear, I didn't feel like I was in a monotonous gameplay loop. This one lands somewhere in the middle of the 3 packs for me. The new X-Antibody forms are really cool, and probably scratch a very specific itch for longtime fans, but I don't think it gives proper closure to the Parallelmon arc. The thing is, it kinda can't, because you can do these 3 DLC episodes in whatever order you want, from those 3 doors in the in-between theatre, so they all just sort of run alongside each other. Maybe that leaves the whole thing open for another DLC to drop at some point, we'll have to see. From what I've seen online, a lot of players seem to be calling the entire season pass disappointing, for the amount of content versus cost. I feel like I'm kind of in the same headspace. I feel like the staggered releases have helped. If this all dropped at once, I think I'd have been a little bit annoyed, because it's essentially 3 extra missions for $25. The score from me for this one, 6.5 out of 10. I think that's around where I've averaged for these DLC episodes as a whole. The new Digimon carry it hard, but it feels a little bit weak in an already quite brief season pass. I'm kinda glad that it's done now so we can see what Bandai Namco does next, if indeed something does come next. We've got the game dropping on Switch 2 this year, so we're still in the release cycle, you could argue. We could still have more to come, let's wait and find out. Over to you guys though, have you jumped into Anti-ParadoX yet? And what are your thoughts on the season pass as a whole? A hit or a miss? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments. Please do drop a like on the video while you're down there, subscribe if you're new, thanks so much for hanging out, and I'll catch you in the next one.